Many people believe that focus is simply forcing yourself to stare at something for hours. But that's as ineffective as trying to push a wall with your bare hands. Here's the secret. Energy must be channeled, not wasted. Just like light, when concentrated into a laser beam, gains the power to cut through steel, your attention, when directed with relentless precision, has the power to break through any barrier in life. Pay close attention to me, because this can change the way you see yourself. Your brain works like a particle accelerator. Billions of electrical signals are firing every second, colliding, crashing, creating new connections. But without direction, all of that activity is chaotic, scattered, without results. When you learn to create focus tracks, the same way physicists guide beams of particles in straight lines with magnetic fields, what was once confusion turns into organized power. This is the first secret to training your brain like a genius. It's not about thinking of everything. It's about thinking of one thing with such intensity that the world around you disappears. And here is where discipline comes in. Don't confuse discipline with suffering. Discipline is, in fact, the art of simplification. If you can't explain something in a simple way, it means you haven't understood it. The same applies to your life. If what you're doing feels too complicated, it's because you haven't yet found the clarity that generates true focus. So here's the first exercise I want you to do. Choose one goal, just one, and write it down in a single sentence. Simple, clear, and direct. If you can't summarize it, then you don't yet understand what you truly want. Now, take a deep breath and reflect. How many years have you lost trying to embrace everything, when in reality the secret was to reduce? Think of Newton. Think of Einstein. Geniuses who dedicated decades to just a handful of questions, and because of that, they achieved greatness. Your focus is your most powerful weapon. Use it like a laser beam. Your brain is like a telescope. If you point it at nothing, you'll see only darkness. But if you adjust the lens and choose a single star, suddenly the entire universe begins to reveal itself. Focus is exactly that. The ability to eliminate the noise so you can see what truly matters. But here's the real question. How do you develop greater focus? Pay attention, because here's the truth almost no one dares to say. Focus is not something you find. It's something you train, exactly like a muscle. No one is born with unshakable discipline, but anyone can build it. Think of the physicist who spends hours adjusting an experiment. Every tiny adjustment is a victory against distraction. The same applies to you. Want more focus? Create environments where distraction has no place. Remove the excess. Eliminate notifications. Write down exactly what you'll do in the next hour and do only that. Does it sound simple? It is simple, but that's precisely why it works. If you can't create an environment that favors focus, then you don't yet understand your own mind. Training focus is training your mind to choose, and every choice is an act of power. Don't fool yourself. Every time you give in to distraction, you're strengthening the muscle of weakness. Every time you say no to an interruption, you're strengthening the muscle of focus. And here's a practical exercise for you. Every single day, set aside 30 minutes to concentrate on just one task without interruptions. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back, no matter how many times it happens. This is exactly like training physical endurance. At first, it hurts, but then you realize that pain transforms into strength. In just a few weeks, you'll have developed the ability to dive deeply into anything you choose. Remember this: the brain is plastic. It molds itself according to how you use it. If you feed it distraction, it becomes scattered. If you feed it focus, it sharpens like a blade. The choice is in your hands. And now let me tell you something that might sting a little. If you quit just because someone laughed at you, it means you haven't yet understood what inner strength really is. If you stop because you feel tired, it means you still haven't realized that the body can always go further when the mind commands. Focus doesn't grow in times of comfort. It's born when you face pain, sacrifice, and still choose to keep going. That's how steel is made, through fire. Here's a powerful habit for you. Before going to sleep, write down in a notebook, what did I do today that brought me closer to my goal? What distracted me? What could I have done better? This simple act, repeated every day, creates a vigilant mind. It's like a scientist reviewing every detail of an experiment until nothing escapes. Do this for just a few weeks and you will no longer be the same person. The regret of not having lived up to your potential is infinitely heavier than the pain of discipline. The pain of waking up early, of studying when you don't feel like it, of pushing forward when nobody believes in you. That pain is temporary, but the regret of not giving your all is eternal. So make a pact with yourself now. Train your mind like a genius. Become unbreakable. Now imagine this. You're facing a difficult problem, one of those that feels impossible. Most people give up because they see the challenge as torture, but a genius looks at that same problem as if it were a game. That's exactly how great minds transform physics into something fascinating. Physicists don't study out of obligation. They play with concepts. They sketch. They create funny metaphors. And that's why they're able to go so deep. And here lies one of the greatest secrets of humanity about learning. When you enjoy what you study, you don't just learn more. You also train focus and discipline to levels that seem almost superhuman. So what's the difference between someone who quits quickly and someone who dives deep into an idea until they master it? The difference lies in emotion. The one who finds joy in the process doesn't need external motivation, because the very act of studying, practicing, or creating becomes its own reward. This is the key you need to understand. Focus is not sustained by brute force, but by fascination. Want to improve your focus and discipline? Transform every task into an experiment. Ask yourself, how can I make this more interesting? How can I see this problem from a new perspective? By doing this, you activate curiosity. And curiosity is like a magnet for the mind. It pulls your attention without effort. The first rule is not to fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. That means you can't trick yourself into believing you have focus if you secretly hate the process. The brain rejects what doesn't make sense to it, but when you connect emotionally with what you're doing, focus arises naturally. And every time you practice this kind of playful, creative study, your discipline grows without you even noticing, because discipline stops being a prison and becomes freedom. Discipline is not just about enduring pain. True discipline is being so deeply involved in what you do, so passionate about it, that continuing becomes the most natural path. That is how you create not only unshakable focus, but a mind that learns and expands every single day. And this, right now, could be the moment when you decide to change everything. Your mind is your greatest weapon. It's not external resources, it's not luck, it's not what others say. It's your ability to train your brain like a genius, to develop relentless focus, to build discipline even when no one else believes in you. That is what will define how far you can go. Stay with me here, because you need to understand this. The world is already full of ordinary people, distracted, trapped in empty routines. But those who decide to master their focus, those who cultivate discipline and curiosity, they become unstoppable. They don't play by the rules, they create the rules. They don't wait for opportunities, they build them. So here's the question. Will you keep being just another face in the crowd? Or will you take command of your mind and transform your life into something extraordinary? Be honest with yourself. How many times have you promised to change, only to give up at the first difficulty? How many times have you let distraction win? That ends today. Make a pact right now. Sacrifice what you must, but never sacrifice your future. Train your brain, sharpen your mind, and success will simply become an inevitable consequence. And I want you to do something right now. Write in the comments, I am unstoppable, to seal this commitment with yourself. This isn't just a phrase, it's an act of decision. Click subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and hit the like button, because this is only the beginning of a journey that can completely transform your life. This is the moment when you stop living as a spectator and start acting as the protagonist. Remember this. Regret weighs forever, but discipline shapes champion. In your hands lies the power to write a new story. So stand up, take action, and prove to the world and to yourself that your focus is truly unstoppable.